guys, I'm Jaci Preston and I'll be explaining the blood passageway through the body via common arteries, veins, and vessels. I'll start by explaining the blood flow from the heart to the fingertips and then the fingertips to the heart. So we'll start at the left ventricle, in which blood flows from the aortic semilunar valves into the aorta, and then blood will flow into the brachiocephalic trunk, which is here, up the carotid artery, here, back down the subclavian artery, through the axillary artery here, down the brachial artery, in which branches into the ulnar and radius arteries, which connect to the plantar arch, in which blood will flow from the plantar arch down the digital arteries. The blood flow from the fingertips into the heart is via veins, so we'll start at the digital veins down here, and the blood flow will go up into the plantar venous arch and branch into the superficial cephalic vein and the basilic vein. Deep to these two veins, we have the ulnar and radius veins, in which connect at the median cubital vein. From there, blood will flow up the brachial artery, through the axillary artery, through the subclavian artery, into the brachiocephalic vein. From the brachiocephalic vein, blood will flow up the neck into the internal and external jugulars. And then blood from there will flow back down the superior vena cava, right into the right atrium. I will now be explaining how blood flows from the heart to the toes, and then the toes back to the heart. So first, blood will leave out the left ventricle through the aortic semilunar valves, through the aorta, down the thoracic and aortic artery, leading into the common iliac artery, and then into the external iliac artery, attaching to the femoral artery here, in which connects to the back popliteal artery, down the posterior tibia artery, connecting to the anterior tibia artery, in which leads to the arch. And here we have the dorsal arch, in which connects to the digital arteries. After connecting to the digital arteries, we see the dorsal arch wrapping around the entire foot, creating the plantar arch. And then blood has circulated to the toes. Now we'll go from the toes to the heart. So we start with the digital veins here. After starting with the digital veins, we go up the venous arch, in which wraps around from the bottom into the top. From the venous arches, we go up the anterior tibial vein, in which we see, similar to the posterior tibial vein, that connects us to the venous arch. This is the popliteal vein. From the popliteal vein, we see connection to the other vein. From the front view, we see two more veins branching off of the arch. These veins are considered to be the great saphenous and the small saphenous vein. The small merges into the femoral vein, in which so does the posterior tibia vein merges into the femoral vein, and the great saphenous goes into the external iliac here. So up into the external iliac vein. We then see the vein going up into the common iliac, similar to the artery side, common external, up through the inferior vena cava, the blood travels into the right atrium, which is inside of the heart.